Who's jumping on the bandwagon? Matt's jumping on the bandwagon. Hello. I'm going to just give some quick thoughts on the whole YouTube hero thing, because based on other videos, I think I have a somewhat unique or different perspective to most of the people, as more of a community kind of moderation person. Like, that's my background, that's my experience, and that's how I got the job I have at NerdCube currently. Now, most of the videos generally say, oh, it's a terrible idea and all that, and I disagree with it inherently being a terrible idea. A lot of sites use a community moderation system similar to YouTube Heroes. Hate the name. These are a very similar system. No, it's not Wikipedia, but you think a lot of these, like, answers.com and stuff like that, who use community moderation stuff. There's a lot of others that use community moderation that you wouldn't think, because you wouldn't know. And you know why you wouldn't know? Because they don't announce it. And that's YouTube's biggest flaw with YouTube Heroes, is that they announced it. It wasn't a big announcement, but they announced it all the same. Because a system like this, the biggest problem people are having with it is, oh, it's easily abusable, oh, people are going to use it for harassment and all this. The reason it works on other sites is because they don't announce it, and the only people who ever even know about it are the people who don't harass and who are the people who are active and do good stuff. One of the most notable examples of it is OkCupid. The dating website actually has it. And they, what they do is, if you're an active user on the site, and if you're sort of active in the reporting of people, they will subsequently send you a message and be like, hey, you've been active. Do you want to have access to these mod tools? And then you sort of moderate stuff. Google Maps, does a similar lighter thing. They wait, as far as I can tell, they wait when you change a pin location on Google Maps, for example, or information of business. Based on how many you've done, they go into review, but based on how many you've done and how many have been correct, they put the weight of your recommendation up and up as you do more. So, for example, me, it used to be a case it'd go into review and then it'd be reviewed and approved within about a day. They're instantly approved now, and as far as I can tell, they're being instantly approved because my weight has gone up and I'm trusted to not, do false things on there. And these back-end systems work for a lot of sites. They're just two examples that I know of. They work for a lot of sites. They're quiet. They don't mention them. And YouTube just made the flaw of mentioning it, because it does open it up to harassment. It does open it up to abuse. If you'd have done this system, YouTube, you hadn't called it fucking YouTube Heroes, because it's a condescending name and it overly gamifies it. People can already add captions and stuff. People already flag. And the people who actively add captions, the people who actively already properly flag, if they do that a certain amount of times, have the point system you have now, but have it internally. Don't publish it. Don't show it. Have it internally, and when people reach a certain thing internally, you send them a message and be like, hey, you've been active, do you want access to these back-end, tools? And you keep it quiet, It's not going to obviously be completely quiet, but it won't be as bad as it is now. And that's one of the biggest missteps, I think, was just announcing it. Because I don't think these things are bad. I've used these things a lot. I've been moderators on tons of websites, and a lot of things like this I've been involved with. And that's how I got into the business I'm in now. It's valuable experience, and it's something I quite enjoy doing. You can say a lot about, it's free work, all this shit, you're not paying this shit. Yeah, that is an argument. They are Google, they can afford it, frankly, but at the same time, it was a hobby I enjoyed doing. I didn't want being paid for it, anything like that. That's a different argument entirely. And that was the biggest misstep. The other thing is Dan, Mr. NerdCube, recommended let these YouTube heroes, hate the name, let them protect the video rather than just flag it and, this is an approved video. I like the idea, disagree with the implementation, because the problem with that is that is also open to abuse. Because as and I'm sure a lot of bigger YouTubers know, often fanboys can be as harmful as actual trolls, if not more harmful. And that's what I'd be worried about. You could say, the mass flagging is very worrying for controversial YouTubers, but the fact is, I'm sure they have some protections in place for the mass flagging thing. If you mass flag every video from a channel, YouTube aren't going to go, well, we're just going to take up down. That's not going to happen. That's unreasonable. It is YouTube, so I can see why people might think, but still, unreasonable to think, as worrying as it is. But the protection thing, at the same time, you could just do that to, a fanboy's going to do that to the favorite YouTuber. It's going to be a biased system. And Angry Joe said about the idea of having different mods for different communities, and that's another point. YouTube inherently is split up into different communities, and the community people at YouTube seem to think YouTube is one encompassing community, and it is one singular community, and everyone's... No. It's like Reddit. YouTube is more like Reddit than it is Wikipedia or whatever. It is a website with a lot of different communities and niches in it. You can't group them all together. On Reddit, you have admins who oversee everything, but then you have mods for each individual subreddit. And, the YouTube heroes are given these tools to random-ass people who are active still. There is debates whether they should do more, because you can capture a single video and be able to mass flag videos, which, But, they basically giving it out to random people, while the actual moderators and channels still don't have the tools necessary to do things. A while back when we had the comments disabled on the NerdCube channel, Dan wanted to re-enable comments and have me moderate them manually. There was no option at the time, and I don't even think there is really an option now. I know if you're a live stream, you can make someone moderate and they can remove comments or block them. The remove puts them into the approval queue. It doesn't actually remove them. Or just report them, I think. On the live stream, you can block them. I'm not sure if that applies to the actual channel comments. But either way, even if that does apply to the channel comments, that's still not enough. I mean, most big YouTubers, they have multiple staff working for them. They have people to do this. Give me the mod tools. Make it like Twitch. The YouTube chat and the comments are so bad in a lot of ways because they are so unmoderated and they are so uncontrollable. It's one of the reasons that puts me off YouTube live streaming. Is as superior as YouTube live streaming is technically, both, quality-wise and the actual features-wise, and it gives you all the AdSense options and all that. It's great, the YouTube live stream, but the chat is limited. It doesn't have a slow mode. It has the option to time out, a 600-second timeout, and ban and remove comment. That's it. There's no support for bots like on Twitch. There's no support for anything like that. And that is the problem. Clearly, I kind of feel like there's no one at YouTube who knows a fuck about moderation. Like, they don't seem to know shit about moderation, and I don't know why. Because they keep making these weird missteps, these really weird missteps that even someone like me who, I'm not qualified. Well, I'm qualified, but not formally, if that makes sense. I have enough experience doing this stuff to say I'm qualified in it. Someone could look at my CV and go, yep, he's qualified in that, but I don't have any formal qualifications. And even I can look at it and go, well, you're fucking up there, really, aren't you? You're past all the fucking YouTube bullshit where everyone's like, oh, YouTube's dead, all that shit. Over all the fucking videos, like, oh, how to fix this system, and then they forget and nobody cares anymore, and everyone goes back to dealing with them. And it was like, oh, well, isn't there an alternative to YouTube? And it's like, there are 5 alternatives. Regardless, I've seen this enough. I've seen this enough. People fucking got pissed off at the switch to fucking 16:9, for Christ's sake, from 4:3. It's YouTube. They'll make mistakes. Some of them will be good. Some of them will be bad. This one, they just don't have anyone working for them that clearly knows how to moderate well, or how moderation works, or how the YouTube community works. Because it's not one community, it's multiple. And they don't seem to understand that. Reddit do. Reddit understand it very well. Reddit understand the idea of, getting rid of some of these shit subreddits, like fat people hate and stuff like that, the extreme ones, and then the rest of the bad ones, they basically just isolate them. They make them their own little thing. If you're getting attacked by another subreddit, you contact the admins, they'll be back to you within half an hour. And there's not that many admins on Reddit. I imagine there's a lot less admins on Reddit than there are, like, staff members on YouTube reviewing stuff. But they're not communicative. They're communicative on this thing. They're not communicative, I've said this on Twitter, they're not communicative on anything else on YouTube, right? They quietly do changes for fucking everything that we want to know about. But this thing, which they should have kept quiet about, they published. YouTube, everybody. The geniuses of today's world. Oh my god, hire me, YouTube. I'll fix your shit, Jesus.